And good evening and welcome to another edition of the Post-Game Show. I'm your host, Ralph Williams, along with Bubba Brewer from the the Dynasty. I still keep forgetting that name of your new show there. Steel City Dynasty, right?
It's the Black and Gold Dynasty podcast show.
Yeah. Right, yeah. And Smoking Jim Frazier by phone. Smoking Jim, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good, Ralph.
All right, good. Guys,
Hi, Jim.
Bubba says hello there. I don't know if you heard him.
Hey, what's happening, Bubba?
Oh, I've had better days.
All right, let's get this show started here. First of all, I want to make an announcement, and the announcement is that I was right. I said that Mike McCarthy from the Dallas Cowboys was going to get fired, and he did. So I want to make that known that I was right about that. I said last week or a week or two ago that on the radio show that Mike McCarthy will be fired if they don't at least win something or do something better than what's been going on. So he's been fired. All right. So anyway, we'll get back to that later on. We'll talk about some of these coaches in the NFL, and also we'll be talking about that tomorrow on Sports Corner Radio Show. Great day tomorrow on the show. We have Noah House coming on, talk Pitt football and basketball, and at 5:00, the legend George Eichhorn. He works for South Florida Tribune, reports for the Michigan Wolverines. He's going to come on and tell us about what's going on with Michigan, Jim Harbaugh, and also J.J. McCarthy will enter the NFL draft. All right, let's talk about this game, guys. That's what we're here to do. Sad loss tonight, but at least we didn't get blown out, and at least we tried to come back, and that's the one thing of quality that I see in Mason Rudolph. At least we were able to come back. I got a text from my producer, Ryan. He thought Pickett would be in the second half, and I didn't think they were going to go to Pickett in the second half. I didn't think that Tomlin was going to pull or had Mason Rudolph on any kind of a leash. I think he was going to win, lose, or draw with him in this game tonight. All right, guys, let me get your opening thoughts on the game. Start with you, Smoking Jim.
Well, I tell you what, man, the better team won. I definitely didn't think Coach Mike Tomlin would lose the game on Dr. Martin Luther King birthday, but any big it happened. Hey, listen, the Steelers basically proved that they can't win without T.J. Watt. I think they're 1-11 or 1-12 without him. The best Steeler team of all time, Ralph and Bubba, was the 76 Steelers when Franco and Rocky both went over 1,000 yards. They beat Baltimore 40-13 in the playoffs. But Franco and Rocky got hurt, and the next week Oakland blew them out.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt is equal to Franco, Rocky, and maybe Frenchie Fuqua. T.J. Watt is equal to two good players in the Hall of Famer, and I think that was the difference in the game, T.J. Watt.
Yeah, how about you, Bubba? What's your thoughts on this game?
I just didn't think that we couldn't have any turnovers up there, and Mason threw that turnover in the end zone. That made the drastic call for me. That was the start of the foundation cracking. If he wouldn't have threw that interception, maybe we got a field goal, and it would have been a little different. But we couldn't stop Josh Allen to save our life today. It didn't matter. The poor tackling, even that last touchdown from Minka. He's just letting that receiver get up and poor tackling all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. They looked like a bunch of robots. They were so stiff they couldn't even move. I mean, that's where it looked. And I know what everyone's going to say, and are the colleagues in the media. They're going to blame the cold weather. They're going to blame this. They're going to blame that. Starting the game a day late. They're going to do this, and this. I'm not going to blame anybody except the captain of the ship. And that captain is mediocre Mike Tomlin. And I don't care about this playoff game. To me, he's still a mediocre head coach that got lucky this year. I said it at the beginning of the season and throughout. It's better to be lucky than good. This team was not good, but they got lucky several times. And today the luck ran out. And now they're done for the season. It's time to hit the Lynx down in Florida or wherever they're going to hit them. And I just know that's where they're going to be. So, I'm not real pleased about this game. I thought Mike Tomlin did a poor coaching job in the first half. They should have did a better job of containing Josh Allen, keeping him off the field. The offense could have been kept him off the field. Beat the clock down and do what you have to do, but it didn't look that way. Highsmith, he was kind of invisible tonight. I didn't see him do too much. Marcus Golden did pretty well filling in for T.J. Watt. Nick Herbig had a game. He picked up that blocked field goal, and right there was the momentum pickup right there. If it wasn't for that, I think we would have got blown out altogether. And so that's my thoughts at the beginning here on this game. I was also not happy. Presley Harvin once again shanking punts. It's horrible. I hope he gets cut. He's the worst punter in the league. He shanked another punt tonight, or 2 punts actually. He shanked. One was 30 yards, and then the other one was like 25 or something. And I'm starting to sit there and I'm shaking my head every time. That's why this weekend, before the playoff game, the Steelers brought back Brad Wing and put him on the practice squad, because I had a feeling Presley Harvin was going to have a bad game, and he did. And that's exactly what happened. Once again, Boz did his thing. And, Chris Boswell, it was great to see him do that. The Steelers did take advantage of some issues, injury issues. Their punter was hurt. They could have blocked the punter, too, off of him. I thought they should have went right before the half or whatever it was there. When they had 17 points, they should have tried an onside kick or two, keep Josh Allen off the field, get the ball back, get some points. That didn't happen. Of course, it never does with the Steelers and Danny Smith. I think he should be fired at the end of the season, but I don't think that's going to happen. He'll be chewing his bubble gum on the sideline next year. All right. Let's start with you, Bubba. What was the key issues here in this game today?
The key issues were me, which I thought our defensive line would be a lot better, but they didn't show up today.
Right.
The Buffalo Bills were just running down our throat, and they were just running inside the tackles, and it just looked bad. Just looked bad being down 21-0. But I give it to Mason for keeping us in the game. We were in. I mean, it was. We were in that game but Josh Allen in the last 6 minutes of that game, he threw that touchdown and poor tackling. I don't know. Like I said it twice now, or I could say it a million times. Poor tackling and getting pushed around is not the Steelers' way, and that's what we saw today.
Absolutely. They controlled the line of scrimmage, Buffalo. I agree with you on that. Smoking Jim, go ahead.
Well, I tell you what, and Bubba knows this from being a professional athlete his whole life, and you know it too, Ralph. But most professional athletes don't know when their last game is. Miles Jack knows this was his last game, brother. Hey, look here, man. Hey, the better team won. That Josh Allen, if he's not the MVP of the league, I've never seen one. This is a guy, man, that can carry a whole franchise on his back. They compare him to Big Ben. I can see some of the similarities, but as far as running ability, man, this guy could be an all-pro tight end. I mean, he just runs right through you. He's fearless. This is a guy that I tell you what, man, I can't wait to see the movie. I mean, he had no scholarship offers coming out of high school. He had to write colleges and bag them. And
wow.
I think he ended up going to Wyoming.
Yes, he did.
Only one that would give him a shot. This guy got a big arm, and you need a big arm to throw in those conditions in Buffalo. He reminds me of a bigger version of Jim Kelly, who's a Hall of Famer. And I tell you what, we just got beat by a better team today. And good luck to Buffalo the rest of the way. They got a good shot maybe up in Kansas City next week.
Once again, poor officiating. There was some bad calls made and some bad calls that should have been made, and they were not. Once again, ever since T.J. Watt made comments about the officials, it seems like the officials have it out for the Steelers.
Good point.
And, I think that it's been going on since, and I think that's wrong. I think the NFL needs to start disciplining their officials. They have been a little bit, but it's been kind of like in a joking way.
Or retraining them would be nice.
Yeah, exactly, Bubba. Something. You got to do something. Because, you can't sit there and do nothing and expect how many times have the Steelers played games and Tomlin will come up at his press conference and go, well, we can't let the officiating dictate our game. But then it happens. All right, it happens. And the interesting part about this, if Dan Rooney was still alive today, what goes on the officiating field would not be going on. He would be on the phone with Roger Goodell, cussing him out in 2 seconds. Okay, but ever since Art took over the team, I think Roger Goodell has it out for the Steelers. He doesn't like Art. Art probably doesn't like him. And but when Dan Rooney was alive, Bubba, Dan Rooney was liked big time,
Oh yeah,
liked
I agree.
by the commissioner. And in fact, when they were at Chuck Noll's funeral, Art Rooney II said a story about how Dan Rooney's phone rang, and it was the commissioner right in the middle of Chuck Noll's funeral. So I mean, that's how much to him and the commissioner talked a lot, and the Steelers were well respected by the main office. And now, since Art Rooney II has taken over, it sounds like the whole NFL has it out. The officials, the main office, everybody has it out for the Steelers. And I'm not going to cry spilled milk. Steelers lost this game on their own. Mike Tomlin's bad coaching, and I thought, and every time he plays Sean McDermott, I hear this big thing about how they played together in college and they were players together. They coached together at William and Mary. Yeah, but McDermott's a smarter coach than Tomlin because every time we play Buffalo, we lose. So there you go. All right. Okay. All right, Bubba. Any comments here you want to talk about here as part of this whole thing?
Well, I wasn't happy. Well, Pickens fumbling that ball on that one drive.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, he threw his helmet off. I just don't know where he's coming from. He's got to keep his head in the game no matter what. I mean, we got beat from pillar to post. On the offensive side of the ball, we weren't running the ball because we were so far behind. We couldn't establish a running game like we wanted to because we were already down 21-0. So there's nothing we can do. But
right.
I mean, I give it up for Mason Rudolph to keeping us in the game, and actually had he had better yards passing than Josh, which we were trying to pass to get back into the game.
That, yes.
Yeah, but Josh Allen had 70-some yards on that one big play, that 52-yard touchdown. Now, as we were talking about the referees, the Steelers were getting held there on that one. We could see it from the TV at my house, me and my buddies, and we were saying, we saw the hold, but they didn't call it. But
I think Stevie Wonder could have saw that play.
Yeah, you got to contain Josh. You got to contain Josh Allen. He is a force. They compared him to Terry Bradshaw and now Big Ben, and I don't know if they're going to go any further because this was the season where the AFC was the weakest that I have ever seen it. So I don't know who or what, but next week if Patrick Mahomes can do whatever, I don't know. But the Steelers, they need a new defensive coordinator. They need to without TJ Watt, we can see, like Smokin' Jim said, 1-11, and that is just it's unfathomed and never heard of.
I've never seen a team in my life whose defense folds when TJ Watt's not playing. I don't get this. You know what I mean? I just don't. Smokin' Jim, go ahead with some of your thoughts.
Well, I think you and Bubba pretty much laid it all out perfectly. But I'm wanting to go with the hot hand, especially when you got 2 running backs, and I thought it was clearly Jaylen Warren's day. For some reason, Najee just couldn't. He couldn't get it going. His running style wasn't the fit for the day. But every time Jaylen Warren got the football, he was exploding through there. He was catching the ball. I thought the Steelers got away from the running game too early, but I would have rode Jaylen Warren a lot more. They had Najee in there, and he was consistently only getting a couple of yards. Just sometimes I just think this was Jaylen Warren. Last week was Najee's game. This week would have been Jaylen Warren's game, and they just got away from it too early.
Yeah, I believe that to be the case. You're right. But Bubba said we needed to catch up. But what we could have done was continue to run the football, kill the clock, keep Josh Allen off the field. I said that at the beginning when this game was first announced. I said the key ingredient here is you got to keep Josh Allen off the field. And you can't make mistakes, and you can't do stupid things. And then Joey Porter Jr. got hurt. They think he has a concussion.
He did. He went out with a concussion, so he wasn't coming back.
Any kind of contact, Joey don't like it. Joey said, I ain't coming back.
But anyway, yeah, George Pickens' attitude was a little tough in this game. Steelers have to do something. They have to make a decision on him. I think he's a cancer. I know he does catch an occasional pass or two here and there, but for the money they're paying him and this nonsense, I think it's time for us to rid him of this team.
Well, as long as Mike Tomlin is here, and it looks like he's going to be here for a while, George Pickens will be here.
Yeah,
that's his buddy. That's his pet project. His daughter now has signed a scholarship for gymnastics to Georgia, so he sits around and talks to her and let her know what's going on the campus. So he'll be here. That's one of Mike Tomlin's favorites.
Oh my! But anyway, oh yeah, don't worry. George Pickens will be over. Him and Deontay Johnson, I heard, will be over Mike Tomlin's for Easter Sunday ham. So there you go.
I don't know if they'll sign Dante. I don't know, but they might have to now because we don't have any receivers.
Well, no, they got to do something with that salary. He was overpaid from the beginning. Okorafor has an overpaid salary. We can talk about that. I can name a bunch of guys. Your buddy Montavious Adams there, Bubba, he blocked the kick today that caused Nick Herbig to pick it up. Oh boy, he steps up and does one thing. Oh my! So
I just think that defensive line was bad, though. It was.
It was
defensive
bad.
line was bad.
Yeah, Loudermilk. I saw too much of him. He's a bum. He got to go.
Well, I tell you what, our guy Herbig was trying to scoop that score, man.
Oh,
if he could have scooped that clean, but he had a convoy and nobody blocked. I'm like, peel back and block, man.
Yeah.
But if he could have scooped that clean, man, he was gone.
He was gone.
Taking that to the house.
Yes, he was. Yes, you're exactly right.
And they were holding him guys a lot of the day.
I'm sorry, Smoking Jim.
Where was Highsmith today? Come on.
Oh, he disappeared. Hey, that's Brian's buddy. That's Brian Pasquale's buddy there. He loves him. He don't like TJ Watt. He always calls up, our show and breaks your back about TJ Watt. You know what I mean? So, all right, we're in the First Line Consulting Services Studios, 1-877-926-6982. Give them a call today. If you need a website put up, and you need it managed, and also all your videos will be uploaded for one low monthly price. That is First Line Consulting Services Studios here. All right, we have a new sponsor here, guys, and I don't know if you know this or not. It's the original Hometown Pizza in Moon Township, 412-264-4444. Some great pizza there. Eat in, take out, call for delivery, and when you do, mention that you heard it here on RW Media Productions, and you will get a discount on your order. So call the original Hometown Pizza today in Moon Township, right on University Boulevard, 412-264-4444. The original Hometown Pizza. All right, guys. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the league. I want to talk about number 91 for Buffalo. He was all over the field today. Steelers couldn't contain him. I seen him get through Mason Cole a couple of times. Broderick Jones let him through. It was just a bad day for the offensive line. Mason Rudolph ran for his life a few times, took a bad, what they call coverage sack. He couldn't find nobody to throw the ball to, and he got stuck getting sacked. What are your thoughts on this, Smoking Jim?
Well, Oliver, 91, other than the cheap shot he put on Mason Rudolph late in the game, I thought that was very unnecessary.
Right.
But yeah, they're guys up front. I mean, they were beaten. This is probably the worst game I've seen that Broderick Jones played. Now he's from the South, so he don't like the cold, brother. So that could have had a lot to do with it. But he had a good season, but he didn't play well today. And Buffalo's defense has been improving since about mid-season, along with their whole team. And I tell you what, man, this team is a team that looks like, if they can stay healthy, that they could possibly be their year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because it wasn't their year when Jim Kelly was quarterback, and they went to all them Super Bowls and lost every one of them.
Well, at least they stayed healthy with Jim Kelly.
Yeah,
it looked like they could rent more golf carts. Every time I turn around, somebody was going back in the locker room, man. I think the last linebacker, Clean, was they got him off the street last week, man. He was retired. played most of the game, so they have to find a way to stay healthy, man. And I don't know if they can.
Yeah, I think penalties too caused we had some dumb penalties like Austin was called for that illegal shift or illegal movement or whatever he did. He came into the game too late or something, didn't get in place. Just dumb stuff, stupid stuff, undisciplined football. Bubba, what do you think?
Oh, all day long. We couldn't cover the tight end to save our life in that first quarter.
Oh,
Patrick,
was eating us alive.
Patrick Peterson does no longer. He needs to know when to say when. He just
Yeah.
looked like he was
Yeah.
lost out there, and he was like maybe 3 steps behind, and he was not making tackles. We weren't doing anything that we were doing the last 3 games. We everything we did in the last 3 games just went right out the window, offensively and defensively. And I don't know if it was that cold up there. I don't know if they had a game plan, and once they were down 14-0, they got shell shocked. I don't know, but they had to come back. In the second half, it wasn't for we held them to a field goal except for that last touchdown when nobody could tackle that receiver, Shakir or whatever his name was.
Yeah,
they couldn't tackle him, so we held it. Yeah, we held him so close, but then close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and it just didn't happen.
Exactly. Oh yeah, absolutely. I know what you're saying, Bubba. And as I said before, I wasn't very pleased either. Okay, final thoughts on Steelers. We're going to talk about coaching in the NFL. There's some coaching vacancies available. Mike McCarthy got fired. Closing thoughts on the Steelers season this year. January 23rd, Bubba will be on the show with Smokin' Jim and I at 4:30 on January 23rd. We're doing a Steeler closing special show. I have Ray Fittipaldo coming on at 4 o'clock, and we're going to do a closing show. And then at 5 p.m. on January 23rd. Are you ready for this one, Smokin' Jim?
Yes, sir.
Donta Green, the head coach of Westinghouse, will be our guest.
Wow.
At 5 p.m. So,
Wow.
and then Bubba's going to be on with us on January 23rd. We're going to talk Steelers for a whole hour. We're going to take your phone calls as well. So, and there we are. Now, last night I was watching the Final Word, and I was watching the Sports Showdown, and our good friend Ray Fittipaldo told me, he was telling me last night, we were texting back and forth, and he said after he was done with the showdown, he had to drive up to Buffalo.
Oh, my
said,
God.
Ray, I said, you're crazy. He said, Ralph, I couldn't get out of this. I had to do this tonight. And he did the showdown, and he left immediately from KDK Studios downtown and went straight out to Buffalo. And I said, be careful out there, man. Them roads are horrible. I mean, and especially if you're going up 79. And he thanked me for that. And I was praying that he made it safely, and I think he did. I haven't texted him all day. I don't know. He was busy, so I didn't want to bother him. So, but anyway, I hope he made it up there safely, because I know what those roads are like when the snow's bad. I've been up north like that. When I drove a cab a couple of times, I took some people up north, and let me tell you, it's not good, especially in the snow, going up and down hills and mountains and things like that. It's not good. And I'm glad that we didn't get hit like that here and everything else. But I was watching both of them shows last night, and I made a comment on Facebook, which someone said I was right. I guess I have to be an athlete to be on the Final Word, because last night they had Justin King from Penn State, and they had they call him Johnny Patrician now. He's not John anymore. Johnny Patrician, the former linebacker at Penn State, transferred to Pitt for 1 season and played for Pitt, didn't make it in the NFL. So now he's got his own website. He's doing his own thing. They're on every single week on the Final Word. I can't get on the Final Word. So it was suggested by a bunch of fans of my shows that I start doing a showdown on Sundays and then put it right here on social media and go up against both shows. And I think I can do a good job, because I get a lot of mailbag feedback from a lot of our steady audience that they love this show. They don't watch the other post-game shows. They watch this show because they like us better. All right. We come up with different opinions. We don't sit there and kiss the Steeler booty and things like that. So, which is a great thing. So I just want to let everyone know about that as well. Keep up the good work of being part of our shows. and I appreciate the feedback and the suggestions. And Smoke and Jim and we're going to have a discussion about that sometime soon, and it might just happen in February or March. So we'll see. Okay, I have considered doing that a showdown show. I don't know if it'll be at 11:30 at night, but I mean, at least we'll go up against them somehow. So, maybe some kind of Sunday sports show or something. We'll see. I have to look at my schedule and some other things. So, all right, guys, let's talk about the coaching vacancies in the NFL. We have, first of all, yesterday, Dallas fired, or today, actually, Dallas fired Mike McCarthy. I said this was going to happen. He's available now. I don't know what his contract status is with Dallas. I don't know if they paid him off. I don't know if this was his final year or not. I have to get all the data on that.
He had one more year. He had one more year on his contract.
So I would imagine he has to sit out, or if Dallas is just going to pay him and let him walk, which I probably would suspect could happen. That's the case. Look who's available for offensive coordinator for the Steelers and bring him home. He's a good offensive coordinator. He's got a good offensive mind. He's just not a good head coach at this point.
I don't think Tomlin would ever bring anybody in that's actually smarter than him.
Oh, I've said that many times. I said that many times. We live in a pipe dream.
And I know McCarthy got blown out yesterday, but I mean, that Dallas game, I just think they were outgunned, and they thought they could beat the Packers. And when they got,
I thought they were going to beat the Packers. I hate Dallas. I can't stand them. I call them the Cry Boys. I can't tolerate them. Okay, but I rooted for them yesterday because I didn't think the Packers were good enough to win. And then Jim's been telling me all year about Jordan Love. I saw, you know what, the playoffs are here. He's going to choke.
He proved it yesterday, though.
Yeah. I had a guy who watches our program, and he sent me a thing saying Mason choked again. I said, well, you know what? Mason did a pretty decent job for the Steelers this year, I think.
I don't think that your listener or your writer, I don't think Mason choked. I think that interception, but he was trying to get us back. The run defense and the defense of the Steelers didn't show up today either. So it was a lot of negativity.
One other topic I forgot to talk about before we leave here and before we get into the NFL coaching realm. Who's going to be available next year, and who do you think the Steelers should cut? Well, what list do you have or up on top of your head right now? Smoke and Jim, let's start with you.
Well, just to go back a couple of comments. Justin King's a friend of mine. I'm shocked that he's on TV. I mean, he doesn't know anything about he played a little bit in the NFL in college, but
thank you.
I mean, I'm shocked. I didn't even know he knows anything about the NFL or keeps up with it. But I'm surprised that you said that. Mike McCarthy, I think, is a great coach. Did great with Green Bay, won a Super Bowl there. Had Dallas playing good football this year. Turned Dak Prescott around, so I have to disagree with you there, Ralph. But for some reason, he can't keep a job. But listen, I see it in preseason, and you can back me up on this, Ralph. I said the Pittsburgh Steelers' problem is not getting down to 53. Their problem is stopping at 53. You know what I mean? They don't have 40 players on that team that can play in the National Football League. I've said that all along, so they can take their time. I tell you what, the Steelers, this was their year. It's not going to be as easy next year. The schedule's going to be a little tougher. Competition's going to be better. They won a lot of games this year that they could have lost. They could have started the season, 0-8, 0-9.
Right.
But they turned it around late in the year. Who knows what's going to happen at the quarterback position? Bubba may want to speak to this, or you, Ralph. Do they bring in a quarterback? Do they bring in a Russell Wilson on the he's getting paid by Denver, so you can bring him in on a veteran minimum schedule. Does Mason Rudolph want to come back? He's not under contract. He can go anywhere he wants to.
Right.
Will the Steelers come up with enough money to Mason Rudolph? What about Kenny Pickett? Do you have to guarantee Kenny Pickett a starting job? So
we don't have to guarantee him anything, Smoking Jim. He can be a backup. I think he'd be a good backup. But like you said, if they keep Sullivan and they keep Faulkner and don't go out and look for another offensive coordinator, then Pickett's your man. But if they go out and look for another offensive coordinator, they better find a guy like Russell Wilson maybe who can come in here and do it. I think they should do that because I don't think Pickett's a starting quarterback. I'm sorry, I don't.
I agree with you.
I do not.
I agree with you.
I agree with you. I agree with Claudio and Luther. He got egg on his face because he was one of the ones that kept saying how good Pickett was and he's going to be a star and all this and that. And now all of a sudden, here we are with Kenny Pickett. And I told you, and I said this, and I know I'm right. I think they took Pickett because they didn't want to hear squawking from Pitt fans.
Right.
If he
I agree with that.
Just like Dan Marino, right, Bubba? Go ahead with that. Yeah.
Yep. No, I totally agree with you, Ralph. I totally agree with you. They didn't want to have egg on their face a second time around.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like Smokin' Jim says, I don't know if Mason would want to stay with the Steelers, even if they give him a half decent deal. The way he's been treated, and out of all three of them, he has the strongest arm. Mitch Trubisky's definitely getting cut. Chooks is definitely getting cut. We need to restructure a lot of contracts. And I was just talking to my buddy tonight. I said, look, I know TJ Watt, but TJ Watt gets hurt all the time. And when you really need TJ Watt lately, he's never around. Do you trade him? He's getting to be 30-some years old. And Fitzpatrick, that last play when he couldn't make that tackle, to me, he could be traded now too.
Yeah.
Like
Patrick Peterson got to go. I heard he's talking about retiring at the end of the year and going and doing that podcast with Brian McFadden, his cousin.
Let him go.
So let him do that. Let him go.
To podcast.
Hey, Bubba.
Yeah.
Hey, Bubba, that's a good point. If you would trade TJ Watt, what do you think you could get back for him?
Oh, gosh, we could get a lot.
Well, look what happened the other day, Smokin' Jim. The Cleveland Browns, on that lovely trade to Deshaun Watson, the Texans rebuilt their whole team. Why can't the Steelers rebuild the whole team? Nothing against nothing. I like TJ Watt too, but pretty soon he's going to be 30, 31 years old. And look, we're not getting over the hump. It's a crazy way the NFL is because every year is different.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, J.J. Watt was an injury case most of his career.
Yeah, once he hit a certain age, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right, bro.
Yeah. He was an injury case, so maybe it runs in the family. And Derek Watts, I don't even think he's in the league. You know what I mean? I think he's playing prison football or something. I have no clue.
I'm watching Baker Mayfield right now light up Philadelphia.
Nothing. That's my boy.
Baker just scored a touchdown.
You know what? That whole panel on Monday Night Football there, they all took Tampa Bay in this game. And you know what?
Did they really?
Yeah, they all took Tampa, every one of them. So, and I don't blame them. I took Tampa too because I think Baker Mayfield's on a roll. I think Todd Bowles saved his job down there in Tampa. He was a guy that was on eggshells. So I think he saved his job simply by even just getting to this game alone. And I'm hearing stories down there too that if he loses this game, he might get fired. So we're
Ralph, if the Eagles lose, do they fire their head coach?
Sirianni might get fired. Yeah, there you go. A lot of firings this year, a lot of impatience. I mean, I can't believe that a guy like Nick Sirianni, who just took the Philadelphia Eagles to the Super Bowl last year, and now they want to fire him the year later. I find it very puzzling.
But Ralph, look what's going on. Other team is firing their coaches. Pittsburgh is still keeping Tomlin no matter what.
Geez. Yeah, well,
Why would you ever want to leave here? It's job security, right?
That's right.
Right, Bubba?
Yep.
Yes.
Good. Winning record in the regular season. We're 0. What are we now? 0-7 in playoffs.
Exactly. Hey, I got a good one for you guys. Here's a question, and this is brought to you by Sleep Pittsburgh, 412-462-7858, 8th Avenue Homestead, sleeppittsburgh.com. No credit check financing, very affordable prices on both mattresses and whatnot. Give them a call today. That number 412-462-7858, sleeppittsburgh.com. Sleep Pittsburgh for the best sleep tonight. Okay, what team has would be the best coaching opportunity for someone as a head coach, and which job is the worst? And I know what everyone's going to say the worst. Start with you, Bubba.
Oh, geez, I'd say Carolina would probably be the worst right now.
Okay,
but
that's what I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know where Bill Bennett, wherever Bill goes, wherever the Ever Emperor goes, someone's going to sign him. I don't know if he's going to go to to the Chargers, but I heard that Harbaugh was looking from Michigan, and I don't know if Bill could go down to Dallas and work with Jerry Jones. if he could work with Jerry Jones and you get Dallas over the hump, Bill could take him to the Super Bowl. But wherever he goes, you know,
If he goes.
I think he's going to go somewhere. I do believe that. I mean,
I don't think so. He's like 70 years old. I mean,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Ralph. Look at Dick LeBeau. Dick LeBeau was whatever, but the New England Patriots, you know, pushed Bill Belichick out, pushed him out. The Steelers, they're not pushing anybody out. Like, and they were just in a Super Bowl a couple years ago.
They couldn't push their way out of a paper bag, the Steelers. So I mean,
well, they need to get rid of Terrell Austin and get a young-minded offensive coordinator.
Yes, they do. And you know what? There might be a few out there
There's
because
a lot.
some of these teams, you know, hey, Dan Quinn might be available because he's the defensive coordinator down in Dallas. Other than this game, he's done a pretty decent job with that defense down there. So, I mean, you know, one game I was telling, you know, we were talking earlier off the air here, Smoking Jim and I think that one game alone right there is going to kick Dan Quinn in the butt to get a head coaching job because, you know, owners are going to say, well, wait a minute, he did so good all year. And all of a sudden the key game of the whole year to win this playoff game and your defense blows it, you know? So, you know, that's what I think there. I think the worst team is Carolina. I think the best coaching job right now out there is the LA Chargers. All right. I think that's a good job to have. All right. You know, Brandon Staley made too many boneheaded, dumb, stupid mistakes and coaching decisions. He let the inmates run the asylum down there like Mike Tomlin does. And so, you know, that's exactly what was going on down there, and they fired him. So, you know, I knew that was coming sooner or later. Smoking Jim, your worst and best team for a coach.
Well, you know, and now Bubba knows. I said 2 years ago when the guy won the Heisman that Bryce Young couldn't play in the National Football League.
You did say that, Smoking Jim. Yes, you did.
I said before the draft, I wouldn't draft him if there was 12 rounds to draft. That's clearly the worst team. They don't even have a first-round pick. They gave that up to move up to get Bryce Young. The second best job in all of football with opening is San Diego Chargers because they got a Hall of Fame quarterback. And if you can start off with a guy that's a Hall of Fame quarterback and he's probably one of the smartest from an IQ standpoint, he's a genius. If you check his transcripts in college, I don't think he's ever gotten a B grade in his whole life. And he got all the size in the world. Best job in the world is the Dallas Cowboys. Not only are they America's team, Jerry Jones may meddle in, he may stick his nose in, but he gives you the money that you need for your assistant coaches to bring in players, the facilities, whatever you need. Jerry Jones will spend the money. Not all owners will do that.
Yeah, we know one here.
I tell you what, the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to be in the little pickle salary cap next year because you got to pay Lamb $30 million. You got to pay the one tackle a game in the playoffs, linebacker from Penn State, who I love.
Oh, Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons.
Yeah, I thought he was hurt yesterday. You got to pay him $30 million.
You got Vander Esch here too. He's injured and he's got a big contract. They got to do something with his contract. Vander Esch.
You know that's how you know he's related. He's related to who's this? What's the 400-pound heavyweight that only fought 4 rounds? What's his name?
Butterbean.
No. Butterbean. Yeah, Butterbean. Yeah. But and you got to pay Dak Prescott.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna be salary cap a little bit.
He's not worth $50 million. Oh,
who? Dak Prescott? No,
he's no way. Just
no way.
Restructure his contract.
Oh, absolutely. There's the jobs out there right now are now the Raiders. Now, what's his name? Crosby.
Raiders ain't a bad team. That you know what I mean. If you can get there,
Young. He said if they don't hire Antonio Pierce to be their coach, he's leaving. So there you go, Max Crosby. He's leaving. So, you know. Good. He'll be out there. Maybe the Steelers will bring him in and cut TJ Watt.
Only
I'm just kidding.
The only bad part about the Raiders, Bubba, is the L. Davis son barely got more money than you, Bubba.
Oh.
Don't let him fool you, man. So
Okay.
you're gonna be kind of hamstrung. When
Go
it
get a
comes
ham
to
sandwich.
write the check, but
Oh, that's funny.
I still
Hey,
say
Smoking Jim, you know what? You're always full of good wisdom. I
Oh,
didn't
that's
know
a good
he
one.
was broke. I thought he had more money than God. You know what I mean? So.
Woo!
That's
Oh,
funny.
my. So I didn't know the Davis family was broke. The 4C, the gravy of the Davis family. There you go. So yeah. But anyway, all right, guys. We have the playoff situation so far somewhat done here a little bit. The Buffalo Bills go to play. I believe they go to play Kansas City.
Kansas City comes to Buffalo.
Yeah, Kansas City got to come to Buffalo.
They
baby.
come to Buffalo. Baltimore is, I think Houston plays Baltimore. So
You're right.
you know what? Don't spell Houston out. Houston had their first-year coach, D'Amico Ryans. I tell you what, he got this team winning, and for him to pull it out like he did this year, it was kind of like Bill Cowher when his first year, and we ended up going to the playoffs with Chuck Noll's players that a lot of guys didn't continue with the Emperor. And they ended up hiring Bill Cowher, and it's a similar situation. He has that team, in the playoffs.
Hey, Ralph, did Bubba make a great point that getting rid of Watson, Houston was able to rebuild your whole organization.
Exactly. Yes, they were. Yeah, Bubba said that. Yes, he did. Yes,
Yep.
That's exactly right. And I think if we get rid of Pickens and a few other bums on our team, I think we can rebuild with some people through the draft.
But Ralph and Smoke and Jim, it's the culture of the Steelers, and Smoke and Jim knows because he's down, he's on the field, he's in the press media and stuff. The culture is different in Pittsburgh than it used to be. So we get back to the culture of being intimidating factor of when you play the Pittsburgh Steelers. We don't have that intimidating factor anymore because people can come in our stadium and beat us up and down over the field, and that never used to happen. No matter what decade it was, even in the 80s.
Wait a minute. Mike Tomlin lied at the beginning of the season. He said we got tougher and faster and meaner.
No.
He lied. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the fake Mike Tomlin has to say on January 23rd, because this Tuesday we're doing a pitch show, so the fake Mike Tomlin won't be on. So fake Mike Tomlin, we'll see what he has to say in his closing remarks. Maybe he'll come on and admit he lied. You know what I mean? The Steelers will never do that. They lie and get away with it, like Smoke and Jim said. And they hate to be wrong too. So, All right. Closing remarks before we leave. We'll start with you, Bubba.
It was a roller coaster ride all season long. It's a shame that we got into the playoffs and the situation that happened year after year after year after year. They didn't even cover the spread today. I was hoping that they would score a quick one. I didn't put any money on it, but I was hoping that they at least cover the spread and it wouldn't look so bad. But
hey, Smoking Jim, did you do okay down at Sportsbook here?
Yeah, I took a beating this weekend.
But I do want to. I do want to say about Mason about Mason Rudolph, though. I give it up for him for a guy who was sitting the bench all last year, never got to play. The sad thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers now, they have people on their roster that they're not playing, and they go to these other teams, and they are helping the teams, and they are superstars. I believe the Texans had somebody that the Steelers cut score, an INT pick for 6.
Stephen Nelson.
Yeah,
two of them.
Yeah.
So it's just this year has been a roller coaster ride, and even on my shows, I'm a diehard Steeler fan, so I got to take the good with the bad, but we have to go back and we have to get better in the trenches on both sides. And I do believe that Cam Hayward's probably last game was today. I think because he was pretty much, not on the field a lot. He was
No, he
taking
was
breaks.
going on and off the field. He was.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
And
I mean, it's a
heard that his
shame.
body has disintegrated. He has already said that this is getting to him now.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for him to step away. And if
Yeah.
that's
I
the
mean, he was a
case,
great player, but
Steelers will have some good cap money because they were going to ask him to restructure his contract.
well, we got to build through the line, and then whatever happens, it's going to be another crazy off season, as I know, and I'll be there reporting it every week on my show. So to give me something to talk about.
Marvin Llewellyn, has anyone seen him?
No,
he's been invisible.
No.
I don't even think he gets a hat anymore.
Healthy scratch.
Healthy scratch.
Healthy
Inactive.
scratch.
Yeah.
terrible.
Like Myron Cope would say, deactivated. Yeah, so there you go. All right, Smoking Jim, your closing thoughts.
Well, I tell you what, my closing thoughts is not with the Steelers, it's with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that Buffalo has to be the favorite next week, but you can't count Mahomes and Kansas City out. There's something magical about that football team, and they just know how to win. And so I'm looking forward to the playoffs next weekend.
All right, guys, it's been a pleasure being here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
You guys talking.
Good seeing you, Smoking Jim. Once again, good seeing you.
Over my man Bubba.
Yeah.
Always, brother.
Thank you.
Bubba will be on our radio show.
You're
Don't
welcome.
forget to tune in on Tuesday, Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM, 12:30 a.m., live on Beaver County Radio's Facebook page, YouTube channel, and also live on their website, app, and www.rwmedia.org. No reason not to listen to this program because Sports Corner Radio Show is up and moving, and 2024 is going to be our year. We're going to explode in Western Pennsylvania and throughout the nation. So I just want to let everyone know that, and I want you to be part of it. So make sure that you tune in to the Sports Corner Radio Show every Tuesday on Beaver County Radio. Bubba, thank you for being here.
No problem, Ralph. No problem.
All right, you have a great day, and I'll be talking with you. All righty, thank you. All right, that was Bubba Brewer from the Black and Gold Dynasty Show, 3 Beast Podcast. He does some other shows as well, and he's also becoming a wrestling promoter, and he does some independent wrestling shows also. Smoking Jim, thank you as always for being here. I will talk with you tomorrow. Same radio time, same radio channel. So we'll talk tomorrow.
All right. Great show, Ralph. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. And we have, don't forget, Noah Howes tomorrow from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. We're talking Pitt football, and we're taking your comments, 724-843-1888, 724-774-1888. And then at 4:30, we are going to talk some Steelers stuff from this game. And then at 5 o'clock, George Eichhorn, the legend, the George Eichhorn from the South Florida Tribune, and he also reports for the Michigan Wolverines. Will be here, will be part of the program to talk about the Michigan Wolverines, Jim Harbaugh, and all that. 5:30 p.m., we have our wrestling segment. We'll be talking a lot about wrestling. TNA had a great pay-per-view, TNA Impact. We'll talk about that and much more, and where some wrestlers are going to be coming and going. And don't forget Wednesday, 7 p.m., Block Talk Radio, 563-999-3740. The Wrestle Talk Show with myself, Smoking Jim Frazier. I'm working on getting another guest on, so we're going to go from there with that. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m., right here live on our social media platforms, The Way We See It with myself and Bill Canada. And by the way, Smoking Jim, Bill says hello to you, and Luther and Claudio and everything. So, All right, so I'll talk to you tomorrow, Smoking Jim. You have a great night. Be safe, and good luck on your hacking situation.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. You have a great one. Thank you. And that was Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host with me on the Sports Corner Radio Show every Tuesday, Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM, 12:30 a.m., and also on live on Beaver County Radio's Facebook page, YouTube channel. I'm taking your comments. I'm still here for a few more minutes. I got some bills to pay. So we're going to start off with draft412.com. Draft412.com is a website where you can get all the skinny on the NFL draft, the NBA draft, NHL, Major League Baseball, much, much more. Draft412.com. Don't forget to subscribe to their e-magazine, $9 a month. They'll put it right into your inbox. All right. I want to talk to you today about a great company called Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, they are the professionals at fixing your furnace, your air conditioner. They have heat pumps, snow melt, UV lighting. They offer all these different types of services. All right, so call Mata today, 724-201-0500. And also, don't forget to get on their Facebook page, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Call, ask for Bill. Tell them you heard it right here on this program, 724-201-0500. You ought to call Mata today. All right, that's Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, one of our fine sponsors here on RW Media Production shows. I want to talk to you today about P6 Auto Detailing. I got to tell you what, the new year is here, all right, and your car should be cleaned. So why not get it professionally detailed? Call today, 412-965-6578. Set up an appointment with P6 Auto Detailing. They're located in New Kensington. They will take very good care of you. Tell me you heard it here on this program. Let the experienced people detail your car. P6 Auto Detailing. All right, next. Fold and travel mobility. Look, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm handicapped, and I won't deny it. Okay? All right, but if you are handicapped, you need to call Fold and Travel Mobility today and get yourself a folding power wheelchair. Make your life better. Don't sit there and grope. Make it better. Fold and Travel Mobility. Get a folding power wheelchair. I have one, and I got it from Fold and Travel Mobility, the best of professionals. Call them today, 1-877-GOTFOLD, foldandtravelmobility.com as well. Get on the chat line, chat with the professionals. They've been around for more than 20 years, not somebody that just got hired yesterday. It's somebody that's been doing it for over 20 years. They have great professionals. They'll set you up with a great model of your choosing. Foldandtravelmobility.com. All right. Are you a business that's hurting? Are you a business that's, kind of in between? Are you a business that's making a lot of money and you want more customers? Whatever kind of business you have, I have the opportunity for you for some great sponsorship advertising that you will not have to go and take out a loan. Call today, 412-545-4317, or email ralphwilliams737@gmail.com. Look, affordable advertising done with RW Media Productions. You get the radio show on Tuesdays on Beaver County Radio, 4 podcasts, 3 national shows on Block Talk Radio. We also offer production, which means if you want to do a radio show, national radio show on Block Talk Radio, I will produce your show for you. I do media show production. Call today, 412-545-4317, or email me at ralphwilliams737@gmail.com, and we'll talk about it. I have some great rates that are very low, monthly rates. You can put on 4 half-hour shows 4 times a month, or you can put 4 one-hour shows 4 times a month. Prices are very affordable. Email me today or call me, and you can email me at ralphwilliams737@gmail.com, and we'll talk. All right. I'm old school. I like talking on the phone. I don't like swapping emails. So if you call 412-545-4317, and let me help you in media. Let me help you by producing a show for you on Blog Talk Radio. All right. And also don't forget about our sponsorship advertising as well. All right. So that's RW Media Productions. Do you need a DJ? Are you looking for a party DJ? Are you looking for one that's affordable? Well, I have one for you, DJ Fun. Call DJ Fun today, 412-990-8448. Give him a call today. DJ Fun is one of the best party and special event DJs all around. And get this, all right, DJ Fun has 15 years of experience in DJ work, not 6 months like some of these other people when they overcharge you. Once again, with DJ Fun, you will not have to take out a loan. All right, give him a call today, 412-990-8448, DJ Fun. All right. Okay, next, Hillcrest Farms, Richmond, Ohio. Hillcrest Farms, Richmond, Ohio. Get on their website, Hillcrest Farms, Ohio, at Hillcrest Farms, Ohio at gmail.com is their email address. Check out their website, www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com. They have some great hay grain beef, some great package deals, such as their ground beef package, $95 for 20 pounds of ground beef. Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio, 45 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh. They ship as well, but they're right up the hill from Steubenville, Ohio, not far from Pittsburgh. Head on out to the farm and contact them today by email, hillcrestfarmsohio@gmail.com, and also on their website, www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com, and their Facebook page, Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio. All right, we're going to wrap things up here today here on the post-game show. Won't be our last. We'll be back with more. We're going to do a Super Bowl post-game show. That's coming up in February, and I'll probably be starting some Penguin post-game show. I'm going to try to get a hold of a friend of mine who so. But anyway, all right. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm Ralph Williams. Thanks for being part of the program tonight. As always, I thank all my listeners and viewers out there. Tampa Bay 13, Eagles nothing, and we're in the 13 minutes in the second quarter. And I said Tampa was going to win this game, and I'm right. They will. All right. Have a great one. Thank you, and be safe.
There's lots of those friendly people showing me ways to go, and I never want to lose your inspiration. Time for cool change. I know that it's time for a cool change. Now that my life is so prearranged, I know that it's time for a cool change. Well, I was born in the sign of water, and it's there that I feel my best. The albatross and the whales, they are my brothers. It's kind of a special feeling when you're out on the sea alone, staring at the full moon like a lover. Time for cool change. I know that it's time for a cool change.